Hi, everybody. Welcome back to SaaS Founder Stories. Today I have Joel Mutua with QuickCart, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his company. Welcome to the show, man.
Thanks. I'm excited to be here.
Cool. So let's start off. So tell me a little bit about your company, what you do. Give me that use case so that we can understand who you help.
Yeah, my name is Joel Mutua. I'm the founder and CEO of Cricket Africa. We are almost changing the name. I didn't tell you, David. Um, yeah, because we started off as a grocery delivery platform. We used to deliver fresh fruits and vegetables and pre-cooked meals from small businesses to consumers. And within some months down the line, we realized, hey, we're giving these small businesses so much demand, and they're not able to fulfill the demand. And then, we did a lot of research and development, and we asked the small businesses, what was the real issue. And we talked to more than 150 small businesses. And, what the underlying issue they had was access to working capital. So they were not
Mm.
able to access working capital. And that's a very big problem in Africa. Just to put it into context, before I give you a use case, in Africa, in the four countries we focus on, we have more than 53 million small businesses. And in these 53 million small businesses, 50% of these small businesses don't have access to, they have not been listed, they have not been registered. The most basic thing for a business to do. So which is crazy. And they have a $2 trillion payment flow market, which is crazy, right? Just to put it into context, in Kenya alone, we have 7.5 million small businesses. And in these 7.5 million small businesses, the next number, David, is gonna fascinate you. 7.5. Listen to the next number
Hmm.
very keenly. 5 million. 5 million of 7.5 million small businesses are not listed. So, which is crazy. They can't open a bank account and they cannot build credit history. So, we started building that out for them with our wallet and, give them, a point of sale solution, which we built out at the beginning of this year. So now we want to bank these small businesses. That's our mission. Our mission and goal is to become, the biggest B2B bank for these small businesses because we realize that, they need, someone who's going to actually come in between, them being unbanked and, getting a bank and getting these banking services. And so the first banking solution we are giving them is microfinance. So the use
Very
case is
cool.
the consumer who's David or Joel who goes to, so we have one app which is the consumer app where you know me and you will go on the app if we live in Kenya or we live in Nigeria or we live in an African country. You place an order. It's like Instacart but with small businesses. And then the other use case is the small business that I told you they don't have access to working capital. They go on our platform and they find four things. They find SKU ordering, which they are able to actually do inventory management.
Hmm.
And then the second thing they find is a wallet that they're able to transact and build credit history. And the actually it's three things. The third thing is they're able to access working capital by pressing the button request for loan.
Very cool. So for you, man, we could spend like 2 hours talking about this because I find this really fascinating. Um, what's who are you going, like, who are you looking to service now? Who's that ideal customer now that you've kind of like moved into a bigger product and you're in that fintech sector?
Yeah, I think so but the first thing that we did is we actually did a lot of research and development and a lot of we did like we asked ourselves who are we going to serve because we still have two customer segments. We have the B2C and the B2B. But then the logistics infrastructure, which is the delivery business, complements the payment infrastructure because the more you give the small businesses demand from our platform, the more these small businesses are able to continue transacting, and it lowers our default rate to 0%. The we don't have any default because we are able to build demand, and then if they're not able to pay it up, we are able to pay through that, so it's a
Mhm.
flywheel that we have created. But in the future, we are thinking of fully becoming a bank, a neobank for the small businesses. And it's very exciting because they are very unbanked, and it's actually a problem that they actually have. So our customer is mainly the most important person for QuickCut is the small business. And just a very short story how I started QuickCut is
Mhm.
I lost my mom, and my mom used to deliver groceries to the schools we studied in. And it was very tough for her because my dad had just passed away some time back, and it was very excruciating because she has 7 children to feed, imagine. And she represents the small business for me. She represents the small business for me because I saw so many struggles that she went through, and so many loopholes, and so many gaps that I needed to address, and that's what we're addressing right now.
It's so cool because what I think, like, I love where you went with it. I think one of the big challenges for any small business, and I think you can see this probably more in Africa in your market, but working capital, being able to grow a company is really, really challenging for a lot of founders. And so the fact that you like what I think is really neat about it is it sounds to me like you're actually, yes, you have the banking working capital side of it, but you're also giving them infrastructure like infrastructure, customers, and it feels like you're lifting them up in one
Yeah.
big go. And that is so cool, man. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I mean, the way we can transform Africa is by allowing access to, to access to finances to these small businesses. They are the backbone of, the economy because like for example, the 7.5 million small businesses I mentioned to you have $80 billion payment flow market. That's just one country, which represents 40% of the GDP of the country, which is huge, right? So, I think that's actually the best way for us to actually tackle African problems. And that's actually the next wave. When you think about it, the US, that's Silicon Valley. The wave for Silicon Valley, and the wave for startups in the US, happened, and then we went to Europe, and then we went to Asia, and then people went to Latin America. Right now, all your eyes should be in Africa, which is
Yeah.
exciting.
I think you're right. The one thing that I noticed, because I'm in Brazil right now, but the one thing that I noticed is you can pay with your credit card for a bottle of
Yeah.
water on the beach. The guy's got a
Yep.
beach stall. He's like literally his business is totally
Exactly.
like it's a cooler, and he's got
Mhm.
that because that's how you can get money in today's world. So it's super exciting. So let's jump into tell me about the biggest challenge that you solved this in the last 6 months that you want to give us a little bit of understanding and teach us about.
Yeah, I mean, so for you to build infrastructure in Africa, you have to build both online and offline. So, we actually wanted to integrate all our apps, and then, we had a really huge challenge by, trying to put together the point of sale solution and also the delivery system as well. And, we had a lot of churn. Um, and customers were dropping off. But you know what we did? We decided to do a dial-in system where we actually got a lot of customer service associates who worked as the app. The point is the business to continue. People think that you just need to have an app. As long as we have a healthy business, and as long as a business is continuing, that's what I care for, right? And we have a very strong chief of operations who is very brutal about that. So they actually called each and every customer, and we have more than 15,000 customers in our platform. And what happened is, they actually felt like we do care about them. And then they actually, told them, hey, if you want to place an order, just send a message. Send a message of what order it is. You're not like a huge company that's gonna be impossible to do. And these are some of the lessons that I'm learning with our early cohort of customers and in early stage that I need to tell every founder. The whole point is really to care for your customers so deeply and being able to give them solutions whenever you're going through problems internally. You cannot stop the flywheel. It has to keep on going. So identify those parts of this flywheel that really matter for your customers, and then make sure they're consistent and they never stop.
So how did you come up with the idea? First of all, that's a Herculean effort, but how did you come up with the idea and then how did you implement calling 15,000 customers?
Yeah, I mean, so that's a good question. So I think one of the things that people try to like, the way right now there's AI, before AI it was apps, like, oh, if you have an app, you're gonna get funding, so that made founders forget the fact that you need to focus on couple of things that you need to focus on your like the main focus for you should be your customer, right? So what we did is we just sit down and we say, hey, by the way, the app is actually crashing. It's actually really, so we actually had so much customers come on our platform. We partnered with one of the biggest events in Africa, in East Africa, called Oktoberfest. And it brought to a platform 3,000 customers in 3 days. And then we were not like, I think the app was just an MVP, it's not ready to scale. And then so we just sat down and asked ourselves, hey, what do you need? What do we need to do to continue serving the customers? And to be honest, there's nothing new under the sun. So there's another company called Diner Delivery. They just call and and then they get the delivery. So we decided to do that. So we actually sat down. I sat down with around five other people who we had hired to do this job. And we sat in our office in Nairobi. And you know what happened? We started calling the customers, all of us, and then we called everybody, and people just reciprocated. People were like, oh wow, I mean, yeah, I mean, this is a startup, but also they're going above and beyond to really care for me. And they felt like they had a touch point, and then yeah, we gave that customer that space. Yeah.
Very, very cool, man. That's pretty spectacular. I think the interesting thing for me is so many people aren't willing to just do that stuff. Like uh, they're always looking for some easier way, and sometimes you just got to get in the trenches and grind and get it out there. And when you show that kind of care for your customers, they love it, dude. You
We
just,
hustle.
yeah,
We
yeah, yeah.
we
We hustle.
hustle, David. We are businessmen.
Exactly. Okay, man. That's awesome. Well, we got a little bit left. So, tell me what you're working on now and tell me what if our community could give you anything, what can we help you with?
I think right now we are actually, rolling out the fintech model. So, what we want to scale it up. I'm looking for, people who would like to join the journey and see how, like I can actually benefit from that. I think our main thing for QuickCut right now is to actually scale up to the whole of Africa and become a bank. So if there are people who can actually help us get there faster, would really love that.
Okay, give me who's one person that if we could find one person that you'd want on the team?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Okay, I'll do my best. Okay, man. Well,
Okay.
thank you very much. I really appreciate it. That was a wonderful conversation, and I can't wait to watch you explode and take over Africa.
Thank you so much, and thank you for being part of the journey. And I'm excited for QI.